Hi, welcome to Papa's Workshop. This is February 20th, 2020. This is a super exciting day for me because this is my 2-year anniversary for being on YouTube. And this video is the 220th video that I have uploaded. So I am super excited about that. And to be able to celebrate this fantastic accomplishment, I am upgrading my CNC machine. The XCarve now has served me faithfully for 3 years without having to do literally anything to it. But today I'm partnering with CNC4NEWBIE. They provided to me a Z-axis that I can put on the XCarve, and I want to show you how to do it. This is a fantastic product. Let's get started. I'm extremely excited to open this box from CNC4NEWBIEs. The reason being is I contacted them and said I'd like to be able to upgrade my XCarve. Send me what you think would be the best items. So they did. They picked it out and they chose what items to send to me. So this is the first time I'm seeing what they actually sent to be able to upgrade my XCarve. And I want to give a special thank you to CNC4NEWBIEs for being able to send these items to me so that I could do a video to show you how to upgrade and just how easy it is to do. Now, I purchased the XCarve in November the 27th in 2016. And I actually assembled it in the January-February time frame, so it's literally 3 years old. And during that time, I have done absolutely zero upgrades and literally have had no problems with the XCarve at all. But with this upgrade from CNC4NEWBIEs, I think this is going to be a wonderful opportunity to show you just what you can do with this and how you can upgrade it. And this new Z-axis, I think, is going to be fantastic. So it came, everything already pre-assembled, even with the stepper motor on it, and it's ready to put onto the XCarve. I want to show you up close what they actually sent. This is the Z-axis for the XCarve, and one of the things that they did, they also included this mount for the router. And what's really nice, and I'm going to try to get this up close, this is the square linear bearings that it moves on, no more wheels. So I want to be able to change the angle so that you can see this and how it slides and moves right along the Z-axis. That is going to provide a super stable position, and that's the track that it actually follows on. And I want to make sure I keep this focused. Guys, this is nice. This is so much better than having the wheels on there. Now it also includes this micro switch. Now this stepper motor is the 178 ounces, and this is an upgrade from the standard that comes with the XCarve, which is 140 ounces. Now the most popular is this stepper motor. This stepper motor is the 269 ounce, and this one is significantly larger. Now it's also important to note that if you do choose to go with this 269 ounce, you need to have the X controller. This will not work with the older machines that did not have the X controller because it will not support the 2.8 amps that it needs to operate. There's some important information that I want to give to you if you decide to purchase one of these Z-axis. Most people go with this stepper motor. It is the 269 ounce. Now it's important to note that if you have the X controller, that will work. It produces the necessary 2.8 amps. If you have the older XCarve that has the G-sealed, it will not work. The G-seal does not produce enough amps to be able to make it work properly. The other thing that I want to point out to you is that if you want to use the old stepper motor on your new Z-axis, this is going to become a problem, because this, I'm going to get this up close, this little pulley is very, very difficult to be able to remove. The other problem that you have is the shaft on this stepper motor is not a standard length. It's actually longer, and that's going to cause a problem as well. So you will need to order a stepper motor. Now I chose to go with the 178 ounce stepper motor instead of the 269. And please consider these important facts when you place your order with the CNC4NEWBIE. You want to make sure that you get the right items so that it's going to work, because this install is actually very, very easy to do. And quite frankly, I was a little bit nervous because I am not an electronic expert by any means, and this install was very, very easy. On the stepper motor that came with the Inventables, it has this connector where it just plugged into the back. On the new stepper motor from the CNC4NEWBIEs, this is actually hardwired into the stepper motor. Now on the XCarve, if you take a look at the motor on the Z-axis, the stepper motor has this connection, and which is fantastic. It was simply able to just plug in and you are ready to go. Now the simplest thing to do was just to take these wires and cut them and solder on the new ones from the new stepper motor. And that cable would have been very easy to adapt. I did not want to do that. I chose to add a brand new cable to it. So what I did with my new stepper motor, because these are hardwired in, that does not have the connector, what I did is just simply added a new wire to it, soldered it on, and I'm going to run that over to the back of the XCarve. The only thing I'm going to do is just put that into the drag chain, which, yes, it is a pain in the neck, but it's a lot better, in my opinion, than cutting the wires. But realize, of course, that is one option. Now for the wiring, I just went to the local big box store and picked up some wire that had the 4 wires in it. And as far as soldering, it's really very straightforward, and I'm not going to bore you with that. But I just stripped the ends of the wires, and I did cut some short lengths of the heat shrink material as the insulator so I could put that on. And then just soldered the wires together. Now I will tell you this, I'm not an electronic genius and I'm not an expert at doing the soldering, but I can do a good job that will hold and will work, and that's really all that's important here. As far as installing this Z-axis from CNC4NEWBIE, this is probably the hardest part for me, in being able to do the soldering, and it's really not that bad. So if you're like me, that you enjoy the woodworking part and hate the rest of it, this install actually is very, very simple. Now once I have the solder joint complete, I just slide the insulator over for the heat shrink material and use the heat gun, and it takes just a moment for that to be able to shrink and form a good seal. Now as far as the other end of the wire, I did solder the tips of it so that the strands would stay together and make it fit into these connectors easier. And I just went ahead and pulled out the old wire and screwed in the new one. Really simple and very straightforward. Now for all the electronic geniuses out there that can make sense out of this, I'm providing this sheet so that you can see it. The most important part is the connections down here as far as the black and green and the red and blue. Now that the wiring's completed, I want to do a quick test. Now I'm using easel, and I'm just using a jog command, and I can go up, and it says up, and going down, and it goes down. Now the calibration's not done yet, but it's moving in the right direction. Now as I flip over this Z-axis, right here, these two and these two right here are the mounting holes for the XCarve. So I'm going to go ahead and take off my old Z-axis, and that's over here, and the screws are right down here at the bottom and then right up here at this point. And then I'll go ahead and mount this on there. Once I get this mounted, I'm going to go ahead and calibrate it and show you how to do that also. Now that I have the Z-axis mounted, I need to check for square. And if you can see, there's a little gap down here at the bottom as compared to the top. So I need to make a slight adjustment before tightening this down. I know it's hard to be able to see the little gap, so I want to show this another way. I want to be able to put the square right against the Z-axis and then show you down at the very bottom on the wasteboard that little bit of gap. Now I got the Z-axis perfectly square, and it's time now to run all the wires through the drag chain to be able to get that part completed. And this is an easy enough process. You just open the little doors, and then I can just take the wires and lay it right in to the drag chain itself. Now as I'm placing the wire into the drag chain, I want to close the doors as I go. So I do this a little bit at a time, opening a few doors, laying the wire in place, and then closing those doors behind me. Now to get to the bottom of this drag chain, you will need to remove these two screws and loosen this up. Then you can just lift this up, pop these off. And continue to run the wire right on around. I like to close it up as I go. Now I'll just tighten that back down. Now I just loosened the screws and pulled it loose. I didn't actually take the screws out of the drag chain, so it just slips right back into position and you can tighten it back down. And I'll use some zip ties to tie this portion on, and I'm just going to loop this through some of the existing wires that are here. And as I move across to the other drag chain, I go through the same exact process. To be able to mount the router is just very straightforward. It just slips straight down into the opening, and then I'll just tighten that up. All right, everything is now mounted and back ready to go. Now the first thing you notice, I did lower the router considerably, because one of the things that I wanted to do, as this is moving down and it nears the bottom, I want this near the workpiece itself. So I went ahead and slid this down further to be able to accommodate that. So now I'm going to go ahead and move it up. In the instructions that they sent to me, they list this as the 7-inch, and they have the recommended girdle settings, and it is set for 50.059. To be able to make this adjustment, we're going to go over here to the machine, and we're going to do the advanced setting, and I want to be able to look at the machine inspector. And this is where it lists out all of the different settings that I have currently. Okay, to be able to make a change, we're going to go right here, and I'm going to type in my $132 equals 175. 122 equals currently at 50, and it needs to go to 100. And then the next setting on line 112. 112 is currently at the 500, and I'm changing that to 2000. And the last setting is line 102. And that's currently at my 188.976, and that is changing to 50.059. So that's going to be my start point. And now let's go and test that. Okay, to be able to test this now with the new settings, I'm going to go ahead and test this going down. There we go. And then going up again. And you can see the increment of movement is much, much smaller. Now, if I had a dial indicator, I could put that in and be able to get very, very accurate information. But I don't. So if you don't have the dial indicator, I'm literally going to put my millimeter marks right into this point and then test for the calibration with these new settings in it. Okay, I hope you guys can get a little bit of laugh out of this, because when you don't have a dial indicator, you gotta get creative. So I added a tape measure and a blade to be able to test this. And I'm moving this down 1 millimeter at a time, and it is perfect. The settings that's provided by CNC4NEWBIE is dead on, and they should be. They've been doing this for quite some time. So I wanted to be able to test this out. That's going at 10 millimeters at a time, and again, it's dead on accurate. So this calibration now is done based on the figures that they provided me in the materials. It is set exactly right. I'm ready to begin to carve some projects. Can't wait. Now, one of the things that I do is I make sure that I record the current settings of the machine as well as the recommended settings. That way, if there's ever a problem, I can always go back to the original settings. The other thing that I want to be able to announce to everyone is that I have reached 42,000 subscribers and growing. And for that, I want to thank all the supporters. I really appreciate every bit of it, and you guys are fantastic. So this 2-year anniversary has been quite the experience, and I love it. And thanks to all of you for making it possible. Thank you for watching my video today, and I want to thank CNC4NEWBIES for being able to provide me the Z-axis for my XCarve. This is a fantastic product, and I'm going to put a link down in the description to their website so you can look at all the different products for them. So if you're thinking about upgrading your XCarve or any number of other different machines, take a look at CNC4NEWBIES.com and find out all the exciting products that they have. In addition to this, if you liked the video today, please go ahead and consider subscribing. Hit that little subscribe button down below and the little bell next to it so that you'll be notified on all the different videos that I upload. So again, thank you very much, and thank you, CNC4NEWBIES, for being able to help with this video today.